and I lost my chains. And the funny part about it, I didn't care because I got to freaking get down with the New York City Steppers. So that was my best dance time to me at the Underground.
Let's do it. So today is Monday, December 18th, 2023. Who are we speaking with?
Bravo Browns LaFortune. Brooklyn in the house.
Tell me about your favorite underground performer.
Well, I thought we just had our small talk. Gary Michael Wade. We lived like about in Clinton Hills in the same area. Me, Gary Michael Wade, Boy Jarvis, couple of the gang out there, McQueen, Jason Lode. We got a little connection between clubbing and hanging out. But Gary, because Gary's kind of like older than the rest of us. He's the dude, man. Gary's cool people, great producer, great singer, great performer. I've done shows. I was Gary's dancer for a while when he had Down Deep with Willie Wall. I go back with Willie Wall as well, Panoramas. When Gary started Database Records, I actually did the design for the actual label, at the firm. He come over, we hook it up, and he started pressing up stuff. Even one of his EPs, I had a song on one of the EPs that I had done, and he's like, "Yo, I'll put it on my EP for you." So Gary and I go way back. I used to just hang with him, man. He called me up, "Yo, we go to see all the different DJs, whether it's on Sunday or Wednesday." He started when Down Deep started, he's just singing, doing his thing. He come out, "Let the freak inside of me show you," and then he do the song, and I just be standing on the side and just jump on and just start busting moves. And after a while, we just kept doing them together. So I go back with Gary, Gary, Boy Jarvis. Let me tell you, man, everybody's concerned. Boy Jarvis has music. That guy loves to dance, man. He rip up the dance floor, jump around all night, So I go back with the cats like that. But Gary is my favorite. Oh my God, nice, great cat, man. Energy is superb.
Nice. Describe the feeling when you're on the dance floor and the DJ plays the right song at the right time of night, and it's your song and you're losing your mind. Describe that.
Well, basically, I got my crazy ones, of course. Funk Masters. I hear music in the streets. One of those nights you feel like getting down. Oof, man. It's the people around you first, because we all set each other off. No pun intended. It's the people around you. When you see the right people busting out, just going crazy, it just we're electrons, man. We just boom, 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 boom. We just bounce off each other. And again, you have a lot of the I gotta wait for my song to get off people. Whereas basically, because we're in there for 10 hours, you can just kind of like almost be warming up for 2-3 hours. It's a warm-up. Whether you like a song or not, it's a warm-up. You're just warming up. We're just at the gym like we're crazy until we decide you got to that point where you're so warmed up, you don't even ask how much is this weight. You just lift and lift and lift. So when a song comes on, I personally, if everybody likes it, Bravo's not going to like it. I'm not going to go for that shit because I got no time to be jumping around with everybody else. I want to be able to go into the part of the song where nobody knows what to do, because you have to remember, we're freestyling. So it's not like we're doing, when people say Harlem Shuffle, Running Man, you can't do these things for a whole song. Those are like little cliche kiddie stuff. But when you out there freestyle, just being yourself, you have to act like you got something in your hand, act like you touching your hat if you don't have a hat on, act like you're taking a shower, act like you're running from something or someone, stop, spin, jump, dive, turn around, split, and now you got people cheering you on because they know you're on fire. You're lit. You're all by yourself, and that becomes with somebody going, "Yo, what you on? Let me get some of that." you know, it's like when people say, "I'll have what she's having," wink, wink, So that's the thing, But you got your favorites. I mean, just like b-boys, when they got their anthems, "Just Begun," "Bongo Rock," you know, James Brown, "Give It Up, Turn It Loose," "Ooh, Shaft in Africa. We actually share some songs with the b-boys. We're not gonna do, I know we're not gonna find anybody spinning on their back and their necks. That's them. We got that flowing thing going. We're on Shaka Khan. "Love You, Live You," Jocelyn Brown, "Ain't no mountain high enough, to keep me. You got the lights, you got the smoke machine. There's a whole different vibe, when it's for us. Then Roy Morgan, "I Do Anything for You." Boy Jarvis, visual. "The music's got me." The language is talking to you. Bohannon, woo, forget it. Oh man. Well, I remember as a teenager, when you hear Bohannon, you're like, "Oh, okay," at the block party. But then when you move into the garage and you hear this thing and you watch the people with the lights, everybody's like just going at it. The whole room together is like this. You always hear people saying they felt the floor of the garage, was bouncing, which it did. It had to give to itself about 6 inches that the floor did bounce. Because if it didn't bounce, there wouldn't be no more floor. It would just fall apart. So it's a garage. It was made to hold cars. So I don't think it's going to have any problem holding 2,000 people jumping around for 10 hours. But you got that moment, even at the Soul Summit. When you're at Soul Summit, that's a perfect example. You don't even know what they're playing. They're just playing something. And you just see people just like this. It becomes a tribe. The only thing that's missing is dust coming up from the ground. And everybody, you walk through the crowd. It takes you forever to get from one side to the other. Black, white, straight, gay, Oriental, Asian, it don't matter. Everybody just feels that. And the guys that are playing the drums off on the side, they're going bonkers. The DJ's doing his thing, and everybody, and you just stand there and you look, and you're like, holy shit. You really don't even have to know how to dance to hang. You just got to go, you're in the ocean, man. You just got to, not deep in the ocean, don't get me wrong. That's for swimmers. You're just at that point where everybody knows, don't go too far. The whole gang is right here, and there's a certain warmth. You can bump into somebody, they turn around and look at you. Hey, hey, it's all right, no good. Hands up. People just touching and feeling. That's the moment. That's the bliss. That's the moment. Like, especially, for me, I'm already nutty as it is by myself. I can turn it on and turn it off, go 0 to 60 like a freaking cheetah. So I'm a different species. I don't need a special song. I don't need a special drug, a special drink. But and I can dance without music. I can give you the same speed, same flavor without music. So, I'm different.
Tell me a story about the ozone layer.
Oof, man, many stories about the ozone layer. Ozone Layer again, Brooklyn, Lennox and Flatbush. I happened to have lived at that time when Ozone was going on. I was only about 6 blocks away. One night, this is Archie and the gang, Archie, Tyrone, Willie, Ninja, and about 4 other members of Breed Emotion. I didn't even know about the group. But one night they're just like, "Oh, we're gonna have a performance," because there's no performances at the Ozone. And but again, we're all cool with David. That was just like the clubhouse, man. That's just the spot to be at Friday nights. That's where we hung out. And there they said, "Oh, they're gonna do this thing," and it comes out. They did this jazzy number. It's called Smash Smash. And I'm like, oh shit. I see Archie, Steven, Tyrone, Willie Ninja. These guys are just, I was like, oh man, yo, this guy's got a dance group? I was like, oh shit. And about 3 weeks before that, I used to have a habit. I'd get up in the middle of the night or before I go to sleep, I would just turn on the radio, but not to the BLS's 98.7 KISS. I'd go to like what would be like BGO, I think Jazz 88 or something like that. And I just turn anytime, 3, 4 in the morning, and whatever was playing, because you get some. And when I turned it on, it happened to be, I didn't know, but it was Peggy Lee's Fever, which is 1958. Doom, 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 doom. And I was like, oh man, what the hell is that? So I held on. This is 1984, maybe? Might be 84, 84, 85. And I held on to that. Remember this. I lay down the doom. I do remember that. And I ran over to one of those record stores that would have vintage stuff. And I'm like, yo, what's this song? Something Fever. And the guy was like, oh, Peggy Lee Fever. And I'm like, damn, I'm like the only idiot that don't know what it is. But the way he said it was like, oh, I knew you was coming. So I bought the small 45, Fever. I took it home and I played this thing. I'm like, damn, I gotta do a number to this. Because again, I'm not thinking, again, there's no house, right? There's no house. We're underground dancing. We're freestyling. We're in the UK, there's something called UK jazz, because these guys dance to all of these crazy bebop songs and they bust these crazy moves. They're awesome, awesome, awesome. I need to talk to you about the UK guys, the dancers in the UK. Very important. I actually flew to London just to go meet this brother by the name of Blue UK Jazz, just so I can hang out with him, just so I can rub shoulders with this guy. Anyway, so when Breathe Emotion is performing this thing, it hit me. I'm like, man, I've been tapping around with this Fever stuff for a few weeks. I'm like, shit, I'm going to run home and get it. I got to run home and get it. I'm going to perform. So while it's going on, I told David, yo, I'm going to run home real quick. I'll be back in about like 10 minutes. I want to do a piece. And he's like, what? You got a joint? I'm like, yeah. They dancing, I'm dancing. So they finished doing their stuff. Everybody's clapping. It's beautiful, beautiful number. So I run home like crazy, man. I go get the small 45, bro. I run back to the Ozone Layer. I said, yo, put this on. So David says, hey, we got another show. Bravo's going to do something. Everybody's like, Bravo? Bravo. So even Archie and the gang are like, Bravo. They're like, you got something? I'm like, I do now. You guys doing shit. I'm doing shit. What the hell? Like, yeah, I got something. And I am standing in the middle, and this thing comes on. And we're talking Ozone Layer 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. This is family, bro. Even if you're a stranger, you're family, because you're either going to come next week and every other week, or you don't come back. This is a tribe. That's the fun part about the underground, man. We dress different. We hang. We know, even if you don't know somebody, but they go to the spots you go to. And this thing comes on. Doom, 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 boom, boom, boom. Everybody's like, shit. I could have left right there. After 15 seconds, I could be like, yeah, that's right. That's it. I'm done. It still would have been hot just because of that. And the number that these guys just did had that flavor, had that jazz flavor, had that Peter Gunn, Henry Mancini kind of flavor. And I'm going, man. I'm feeling like I've been at Alvin Ailey all my life, Joffrey Barlett, all of those things, because that was the whole idea. We're not from that, but to us, we're ready to throw down with those people, but we don't want to hang with them because we're not about that whole, go to rehearsal and you have to stretch before you dance. We're not into that shit. We just show up, yo, let's go. They start playing some shit, you busting moves, And the song, the interpretation of what I did to it, everybody's making their comments. Oh, give it up. Come on now. Bring it. Get with it, baby. Oh, Fever now. And when it finishes, I went down and it just finished. Boom, boom, boom. It fucking went bonkers. I was like, that's what I feel. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they're feeling, it's not like I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not one of those guys everybody likes it. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, shit is hot, right? Oh, God. Oh, So I always appreciate, just like when I do Set It Off with Strafe. Every show is like our first one, you know. So when we go on, like I just finished doing this weekend. Last weekend we were in Staten Island. This Saturday we were Long Island. And Set It Off is no joke, man. When that shit comes on, I don't care what area you at, black, white, tall, skinny, fat, slim, thin. People just like, oh, that's my shit, And I'm the guy that's leading the steps, busting the moves, to this iconic song. So the Ozone, when I did Fever, don't forget, we're talking regular club stuff. And here you have Breeder Motion perform as a group, not music, dance group. And then I did a solo. So that was, to me, like a big epic moment, at the Ozone Layer, which I'm sure a lot of Ozone heads be like, oh shit, I remember that night. That shit was crazy. So, that was the same flavor we had when we did the Loft for David Mancuso in Alphabet City. We did 3 songs. By that time now, we're recording artists and dancers, not signed, but still had joints. We did this 3 songs. We did songs, People of the World, title song, Breed of Motion, and If You're Weak, Get Up on People of the World. It was 3 songs. We did 3 songs, and the whole gang was going nuts. Karate, everybody was there. They were just like, oh man. And this had to be between the Ozone time and that would have to be 10 or 15 years different.
Wow. Tell us a story about Thursdays at Panorama in Brooklyn.
Oh, shit. 81, 82. At that time, I'm studying architecture. And again, the guys I hang out with, they're older than me. And all these guys do is party, bro. These are old guys from Korea, Vietnam. These guys, they just hang out, man. Smoke weed and hang out and chase chicks, bro. And the guys was like, yo, man, there's a Brooklyn spot. I was like, Brooklyn spot? Well, all right, I'm down. Thursdays. I'm like, okay. Waverly. I'm like, okay, where's Waverly? Down the block, because we were all over on Prospect and Vanderbilt. That's like, what? Really? Shit, let's go. So meet up. Uh, um, and I just say, okay. And the guy's like, yo, man, you can run around all you want. I showed up. First time, I think that's probably the first time I actually met or saw Willie Wolf. Showed up. He's at the door, him and his gang. He's collecting. I just showed up, see a few people again because I worked studio, I worked Bonds. I'm down with Mike Stone Productions, and I showed up, and it was the same music, that underground music. I'm like, oh, okay, Brooklyn is doing the Manhattan thing. You have to remember, you got Bentleys, Silver Shadows, Leviticus, Equus in Brooklyn. These are all that are playing whatever BLS is playing. You see what I'm saying? These are the happy stuff. But Panorama, something like Panorama, they're not playing that shit. No, man. They're playing some serious Prelude records. That's their main. A lot of Prelude, a lot of Salso, just hot stuff, man. Just real good underground, mixes. The early Larry Levan stuff. And I showed up and everybody's just getting down. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I learned later that the system at Panorama was provided by Grandmaster Flowers, DJ Grandmaster Flowers. And that's a big trivia to know because, Grandmaster Flowers for Brooklyn that's the dude, man. He's the first one with the title Grandmaster, which is when it follows with all these other people, whether it's Grandmaster Flash, Grandmaster Kaz, Grandmaster Flowers. Brooklyn had Grandmaster Flowers, DJ Plummer, and some other cats. But that's the main mobile DJs, mobile, not playing in the club, but mobile. These guys show up with vans full of equipment and bust a block party wide open. And that system was a Grandmaster Flowers system at the Panoramas. But the Panoramas, that's, the Saturday gang and the Friday gang, the ones that can hang, By that time, it's the funny thing is we were all 20-something. 21, 22, 23. If somebody in the group was 30, that's an old mofo. You're old, man. If you're 30 in 1980, if you're 30, your ass is old, man. I remember seeing flyers that might say 1986. Larry Levan might have been turning 28 or something like that. So again, so everybody's going to community college, got their little jobs, just got out of the service from doing 4 years, and just starting to hang out. Everybody is trying to get credit cards, still living with their parents. Maybe two or three of them had roommates. Rent was still kind of like, manageable. So, you got a little job, you can, you get an apartment. So it was a big deal. Boy Jarvis lived right on Waverly. As a matter of fact, he lived a block from Panoramas. And that was the beginning of him and Timmy when they started doing productions. And Gary Michael Wade lived around the corner. So that was the posse, man. You see the whole gang. You get to see all your heroes before they were supposed to be your heroes. You'd be like, oh my God, yo, boy's just gonna bring his keyboards and connect and just start, boom, 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 just jamming. It's very, very interesting times, man. Very, very interesting times.
Talk to us about underground music and underground clubs. Explain that for somebody that doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's good. Good thing to know, because rock and roll has their own underground. Jazz had their own underground. Who was accepted, who wasn't, who they call sellouts. Underground music would definitely, first thing is, it's not on the radio. Because again, the radio has a format that they play, 10 songs that they'll play every 10 hours. You hear the same 10 songs or 8 songs or whatever it is, because there's a whole thing behind it. There's a label. It's a major label. Underground stuff come under what's called independent labels. And some of them are released, some of them are not released. Some of them are white labels, which is from the real. Then they went on to making maybe 5, 6 copies that the DJs, special DJs, because of the record pools, that only Larry would have, only Tony Humphries would have, only Kenny would have. And all of these guys are a clique. They all know each other. So that's one time you would hear it. So if you hear, like I remember Kenny Carpenter playing Alicia Myers' I Want to Thank You in 81, 82. That thing didn't make radio until 87, 88, I think. Frankie Crocker played that stuff. Perfect example, Pleasure, Take a Chance. That's underground because you wouldn't hear that on the radio. And it's it's on a jazz funk thing, very jazzy. Love Money, you won't hear that. Okay, Spank as a disco song, but then you have the real version that these guys sit there and chop up. Your Frankie Knuckles, your Tony Humphries. They sit there and in the studios, they're taking that good piece. This is what started the whole thing about house music. And you would hear that in any Frankie Knuckles interview. All they did was just start taking pieces of the song that's so damn hot, but short, and they double it up. Now, when you get a controller or you're on your computer, whether it's Serato, Tractor, DJ, American DJ or something like that, it's a loop. All you're doing is looping. The remix is a loop. But in real life, in real time, you had to record and re-record, take how many pieces you want, splice that shit together, and then you run it. So that's where you get what's an underground. So only so-and-so has it. It's a different mix. The Shaka Khan, there'll be something that the radio plays off the album, but then on the other side or the third song, the radio's not playing it because it's not radio ready or radio acceptable. But then the DJ is laying that stuff on us at 3:00 in the morning, man. Perfect example. I couldn't wait to bring this up to you because in the interview, part 1, we talked about the DJs, the songs. You have an example of what club would play what. the Studio 54, the Garage, Mellons, even Tony Humphries. They're not doing David music, when I say David music, until 5 o'clock in the morning, where there's not 3,000, 2,000 people, where there's 500 or 300 people. That's when you start hearing they would do like what would be considered loft style music, because David Mancuso is hitting you with everything under the sun from 12 o'clock to 12 o'clock. He's giving you Carlos Santana live at Woodstock. So don't forget, you're in his house. It's not a club, so he don't care. He's giving you like Liquid, ESG, Feeling Moody, yeah. And then ESG on the same album had a jam called Standing Line. These are hot joints, man. David Mancuso would give you Patti LaBelle, The Spirits in It. Oh, man, you want to see people go crazy, roll around the floor like they're nuts, like they're 2 years old? The Spirits in It. Then you have Machine, No Blacks, No Jews, and No Gays. Dun, 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 for the grace of God. Dun, 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 dun. That's a weird song, man. That's if you got to listen to those words. Like, wait a minute, did it just say what I thought it says? No blacks, no Jews, and no what the? The music, you wouldn't hear those things, and those are major classics. You would hear Cher, Yoko Ono, Walking on Thin Ice. Mick Jagger, not the Rolling Stones. Mick Jagger, Lucky in Love. Oh man, I was in Paris, and just like we're talking like this, I met up with these 3 cats, and we were just talking. I was giving them New York, all the songs, the undergrounds, almost like this, but this is way before interviewing and Zoom and all that shit. This is 15 years ago. And I said, and as we were doing it, they were going on YouTube, I guess it was YouTube, and picking up these songs when I told them about it. One of those nice Billy Ocean. They're like, Billy Ocean? Because everybody knows Billy Ocean for a major label, Caribbean Queen. But nobody knows that one of those nights is Billy Ocean. They're like, really? And one of the guys was a vocalist. So he's like, I'd like to hear that. And I played it. He's like, oh my God. They just don't know that these people do some underground shit. And I mentioned Mick Jagger. And they were like, Mick Jagger? They play Mick Jagger at an underground club? What song would they possibly play? Because you're thinking, I can't get no, dang, 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 But got news for you. There's remixes of some Stone stuff that's real hot. But a Mick Jagger jam is Lucky in Love. I had a friend of mine I took to the garage, might have been like 85, 86. And the next day, she was like, oh, that's an interesting place. They play all kinds of stuff, because they had played The Clash, Magnificent Dance, again, underground. That's like the Magnificent Ring Ding, because the garage is doing new wave. You get everything. Yazoo, these are great productions. So she said, oh, they played Mick Jagger. And I was like, they did? I was like, I play Mick Jagger at the garage. This bitch is tripping. She's like, I'm surprised, Lucky in Love. So now I had to say, I had to pay attention. I went over to over in Carmine, our favorite record store, which I should, Vinyl Mania. I went to Vinyl Mania. I'm like, yo, man, what Mick Jagger song you guys got that Larry plays at the garage? They were like, oh, that's Larry's own personal fucking Lucky in Love. I'm like, Lucky in Love? So now when you Google Lucky in Love, it kind of like sounds like they played this at the garage. It didn't have that garage rhinoceros trying to get out of the cage. And I was like, holy shit, that system is magical. Because when you hear it in the system, Lucky Love. And then it just hit me like how special the underground is that I don't even pick up. I didn't even pick up. I'm just jamming and just losing my mind with everybody else, except this young lady, goes, "Oh, Mick Jagger." I'm like, Mick Jagger. And then I'm noticed, I'm like, oh shit, it's Mick Jagger. It's not the Rolling Stones. It's Mick Jagger. And all the musicians on there, just top-notch, kick-ass musicians. They all just got together and bust this song that I guess Mick wanted to do, Lucky in Love. So I don't know if you've ever heard it, but check it out. I hope it doesn't hit you, unfortunately, because it's not in a massive system. But at the garage, everybody lost their damn mind listening to, because Larry played that system like he was playing drums, bro. I mean, I remember uh he did something to a Michael Jackson, which again, he might have been in one of his moods, where he played just the highs for like 3 minutes and the bullets. So you don't even know what you're listening to. And then when he let that system rip, open the whole system up, it literally felt like you were at the bottom of an airplane. The engine, everybody just lost their mind. So underground is what's not being played in the radio, what nobody's playing, the other side of something, you know. And the club, the people, that's what makes it underground. Because you're not like, oh, I've never heard this before, I'm leaving. They're not playing anything I've ever heard before. I can't, because that's what happens with people. We're like kids at pacifiers. You need candy, man. And if the milk doesn't have chocolate in it, I don't want it, you know. But when you're underground, when you're a club head, you you don't want to hear shit that's on the radio. You know, they go to Bentleys for that, so you can hear. You know, like the garage, you wouldn't hear something like "Just Got Paid." You wouldn't hear that at the garage. You know, you hear the Clash, but then you wouldn't hear the Clash at Bentley's. See, that was the difference. You got your underground DJs, and then you got your regular DJs. Regular DJs, they clubs close at 4 o'clock, man. They're playing the whispers. And the beat goes on. Beautiful song. Don't get me wrong. That's great stuff. You know, you got Shalimar. Oh, second time around. All that stuff is great, but you're not going to hear that. You know, you're not. You're not. You go to the loft, like I mentioned to you the other day, you're hearing the theme song from Sanford and Son. Hot shit. The theme song of Soul Train. Fred Wesley. Gonna have a house party. Ooh, gonna have a house party. Everybody get up. Get down. Everybody's got their little flavor. The lost people, they just go nuts, man. They don't care. They looking up, they looking down, their eyes are closed. Can't go to the movies. I ain't got the fare. It's just, they just throwing down, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Studio 54 and the Loft were famous for their celebrity guests. Can you share any memorable encounters or stories involving celebrities at either of those clubs?
Again, studio, you had the 78, 79 studio, which is all of that Liza Minnelli and Andy Warhol and all that shit that you see the pictures of. And then you had the tail end. I'm the tail end of Studio 54. In other words, those big mega people weren't coming. Once those guys went to jail, those people didn't want to be associated. So they weren't coming. See what I'm saying? But the coke heads, the pill poppers, the weed, ones looking for weed, they don't want to get in trouble on the Upper East Side or Upper West Side, or in Connecticut, Greenwich, Connecticut, Conyers Farm, Connecticut. They didn't want to, Long Island, no, man, they don't want to get in trouble. They come over here to hang out with us. They we get in trouble. They don't. They get to run out, man. So you start getting a tail end. Somebody have to tell you, oh, that's so and so that used to come with so and so. So you get that little bit. Even when we moved to Bonds, they would say, oh, some so and so's coming in, give them the VIP treatment, and they walk around with Mike. Whoever would be. Our celebrities, we have celebrities. Ty Mark did Last Dragon. I worked with Ty Mark at Bonds International. You know, we had our guys. Some of our guys became models. You know, that was a big deal, even for the garage. You know, which Joey Lianos, when he was talking to you, they had Noel at the front door. Noel was the Marlboro and the Winston cigarette guy. He was on the billboards, man. It was a big deal. You know, you come out the train station, there's a billboard, you know, with the guys looking like, you know, Brokeback Mountain Cowboys, and that's Noel. So we had our own our own celebrities, you know, that hang, you know, the early people, you know, and you go to Dance Tyria, forget it. The whole world was hanging at Dance Tyria. That thing was 4 floors, 4 or 5 floors. Every floor was different genre, man. The hip hop, the new wave, the punk rock. You know, we still B-52s was on fire back then. You know, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get B-52s at the garage and the loft. You're not gonna get it at Bentley's. They're not playing that shit. No, people, you know, forget. Everybody walk out, man. You know, but that was the whole idea. But you know, we get our little low key celebrities that come in, and they come in. You know, it's all about the hanging, the hanging down and not getting in trouble. See, that's the whole thing. I think the last conversation you were asking me before we cut off was about the Puerto Rican puppies. the whole thing about the gays, and you know who wants to hang around with the gays. You know, all the young blacks and the Puerto Ricans. You know, you got some down low people, man. You know, but all the white people with the money, supposedly that's the people with the big lofts. You know, the big titles. They want to hang, man. They want to hang dirty, bro. They want to hang dirty. You know, it had its good and its bad points. You know, I never had to be subjected to any of that. You know, but there's some people, you know, the Bronx needs Connecticut, and Connecticut needs the Bronx on the down low. But that's what underground is, man. That's the whole underground scene. You know, you want your drugs, you're not going to get it. I don't know, nowhere in Connecticut you're going to get some drugs. You got to come down to 40 Deuce, man. You got to come down, you know, to the source. The source ain't coming to you.
Tell us about the after hours. What is the after hours for those that don't know? And tell us about after hours vibe in New York City.
Again, you're gonna get, as soon as something closes at 4 o'clock in the morning, some people like, yo, I still want to hang, you know. The ones that don't drink too much, because if you drink, you're definitely going home. You're not coming to party for another 4 hours. But then you would get somebody that would tell you, hey, look, I got a spot. You know, there's always some kind of spot. As long as it's open after 4 o'clock, that's an after hour spot, you know. Or it might even be somebody's throwing a house in a brownstone, in Brooklyn, you know. And then you're just like, okay, I'll hang. You know, you go, everybody jump on the train, or we squeeze ourselves in somebody's car. Not too many people had cars. That's the other thing. Back then, not everybody didn't have a car. Everybody got no problem taking the train, bro. No problem. That's why they call them the Bridge and Tunnel Gang. They come over, and when Grand Central, 34th Street, the bus terminal, the buses stop at midnight. They don't start back up till 6. So guess where? Where do you want to hang? You want to hang somewhere where you can leave at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then start catching the train to go back to Edison, New Jersey, Patterson, New Jersey, you know, Westbury. Yeah, but you find an underground, somebody's going to tell you, yo, there's a spot. I got a joint. Brown's Guest House, perfect example. On Waverly, about 4 blocks from Panorama. Panorama was a Thursday night spot. I don't even know what they did on Friday and Saturday, you know, but that was the Thursday spot. But Brown's Guest House, oh, you ever heard of Brown's Guest House? Man, you got to talk to cats a little bit older than me for them to tell you about Brown's Guest House. That's an after hour, bro. Holy shit. If I was you, just for the hell of it, half of the people you've interviewed, just send them messages. Browers talked about Brown's Guest House. Who know about Brown's Guest House? And you watch Who Gets Spooked. Be like, oh, Brown was no joke, man. Brown was a trip. Brown, you come in, motherfucker, close the door. Nobody's getting out. You're like, what? He's a freak, bro.
Tell me a story about Melons.
Melons. First time I went to Mellons, again, the boys, my cousin, I call him 54. That's his you know, his name is Gene Chandler, but you know, because he's the one that bought me the studio. So it's 54, that's the nickname, you know, 54, 54. Where we going, baby? Um, I'll tell you, when I was a studio, once I got the studio, then it became a big deal for all of them because now they can get in all they want. I give them memberships. They bring who they want, the whole shebang. We have one of our guys. He thought he was crazy. He wants to be like, yo, I'm freaky, man. I heard you the man up at studio. Blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. He says, yo, man, I want to come, I want to come. I said, sure, man. Well, I'm going to go, with me. I'll meet you at Grand Army Plaza. I was on Church Avenue. I said, I'll meet you at Grand Army Plaza, 10 o'clock, and I'll take you over there. He says, yo, what should I wear? I'm like, well, my dad worked at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. We wear scrubs. I used to wear scrubs, different colors, whatever you can get. Put a feather in your hair, anything freaky, because we ain't going to Bentleys, I'll get back to your question. I just want to give you this. So I'm like, okay. And everybody's like, yo, if you hang with Bravo, man, you're gonna be there all night. And this guy hang out with towels, they change their clothes. He's like, yo, I'm down. I said, yo, put on your sneakers, just think about it like we going to the park and to work out. Oh yeah, cool. 10 o'clock, I get off at the train station. I'm waiting for him. This guy comes down the stairs dressed like George Jefferson, bro. 3-piece suit. Yeah, see? I just see feet coming down the steps, coming down. I'm like, no. Yo, he dressed. And I always explain it as George Jefferson because George Jefferson always has on the jacket, the vest. He came dressed, bro. And he looked at me. He goes, "Yo, mind you, I had on scrubs, bro. It looked like I just finished doing operation, going to do an operation. Literally blue." Light blue scrubs. Like I said, we had a whole bunch at the house. My pops bring them shits home from the hospital. And I remember I had a bandana with a feather, like fucking Pocahontas, bro. Little Bo Peep, Well, there we party, dude. You gotta remember back in the old days, people didn't wear bright colors. You're like, yo, what you do? You down with that village shit? You're cuckoo. You understand what I'm saying? But that's how the whole gang was hanging, And this guy comes down. I'm like, yo, I can't take you like that. Are you out of your mind? He's like, wait a minute. You actually go like this to the club? I was like, yeah. Oh man, I thought you guys was kidding, man. I thought y'all was joking. I said, there's no way. I can't bring you like that, man. I said, you're just gonna stick out? No way. And he's just like, really? I was like, yeah. He goes, yo, it's like that for real? I'm like, dude, I told you, man. Shorts, whatever you want, man. Anything except a suit, bro. He's like, I can't believe you, bro. You guys actually hang out like this? And that was like a reality for me because when club people get on the train, everybody kind of like looks. You can tell that was a special thing, man. In the '80s, especially between 80 and 85, 86, it was just deep. You can just tell us apart, bro, from the way we move, the way we talk, the way we dress. He didn't care, bro. It was just a special thing, man. But again, back to Melons. So we go to Mellons. The guy's like, yo, we're gonna go to Mellons. Again, watch out for the drag queens, like they just give me fair warning. Stay away from the drugs. Watch out, the drugs over there. Just go over there and bust some moves. And I go to Mellons. Mellons is on 16th Street between 3rd and 4th. It's on the 17th floor, something like that. So come in regular office building, regular old school office building, because you thought it'd be like ground level like all the other ones are. And I'm like, where's the club? It's like, yo, man, you get in the elevator. I'm like, we got in the elevator. This thing's going up. Had to be maybe 17th floor, 13th floor or something. This thing's going up. As it's going up, 8, 9, 10, you start to hear that. And when we got upstairs, the elevator opens right into the club. I was like, holy shit. What? Lolita Holloway Love Sensation. I Hear Music in the Streets, Spank, Sharon Red. They just playing all this stuff. And who's the DJ? Timmy Regisford, Boyd Jarvis. Everybody's just again free. You get your Vegas, drag queen, all out, undercover gays, open gays, white, black, everybody. And I'm just like, what? Yeah, the best show I ever seen was Lolita Holloway at Mellons, Love Sensation. And it helped me to, again, from all the other shows, from, like I said, because I worked at the club, so I get to see everybody perform like this and whatever. Saw that already, and I can see the ones that suck, with the dancers. I'm like, oh, that don't make no sense. The crowd response. So again, all of this for me is information that I wasn't even collecting. I'm gonna need this in 30 years. Never like that. Never like that. Performance wise, but the showmanship, how to capture a crowd, and it was just all that, And this is way before I even met Mike, met Boyd Jarvis, met Timmy, way before I met the whole gang. Just hanging at the club, And then Mellons was a short run, but it was just awesome, man. Again, that was one of those things. Somebody's got to bring you. You're not gonna find a flyer laying around. Somebody's got to bring you. Somebody's got to see you at the park, Washington Square, run into you in the train station. Oh, yo, I seen you at the spot, man. What are you going Wednesdays? What are you going Thursdays? Yo, you going to Mellons? Lolita Holloway's performing, something like that. Oh, shit, really? Yeah, I only went one time with a friend of mine that had a membership. Yo, I'll bring you. I got to know some people. I'm down. And then you meet up. It was a small little, no internet, no web. Small little community, man. But Mellon, the best show to me to see was Lolita Holloway at Mellons. That was, man. And just to let you know, dance wise, the best dance time I ever had was at the Underground. That was the name of the club, actually. It was on 16th Street and Broadway. Yeah, Broadway. 16th Street on the corner. It was called the Underground. And there was a special party one night on a Sunday. And I went, I kind of like had my Melons. I had my Bentley's Leviticus kind of outfit. And then I had my Underground stuff. And being that it was like a iffy, I didn't know, what kind of party it was going to be. I did like a half and half. I had my Capizios. I had my dark blue dress pants, which was very baggy and loose, just in case I want to get down. And I had this cream colored, what they would call a blazer. It's cream colored, real chic. And I put on a white top that cut like this. I had 3 gold chains. Again, I wouldn't have worn that for Underground, but I would do it for Bentleys. One said Bravo, the other one said Brahms, and the other one was like some kind of simple thing, whatever. This is just my, papi chulo. I'm in the house. Yeah, Casanova in the cut, baby. So anyway, I go, it's on a Sunday, and I showed up. You put on your Capizios, it's like, man, people be looking like, yo, this guy got on white shoes. Who the fuck wear white shoes? What's up with that? What kind of shoes is that? So because everybody's doing the Pierre Cardin thing, And I go over there, and they're playing. I know this is kind of like a little combo, some Underground stuff and some, Shalimar stuff.
Which club is this again? Which club is this?
Underground. The Underground.
The
It's called the Underground. Yeah. And when I went over there, unexpected, all the top dancers, the Force 5 from the Loft, my fucking idols, Mike Dungy, Willie Pine Dew, Rick, Greg Seeley, Doc. I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. Yo, what are they doing here? I'm like, what are they doing here? That's the dudes from the Loft. Oh shit. So the party's going over here, but they're over there just like fucking Indians, bro. But the whole party's over here. Everybody's like this. And these 5, 6 guys are fucking busting moves, man. That's what they look like, by the way. They look like this. They just fucking, they do things in time, out of time, super fast, slow, one take turn. They just going bonkers. And I'm like, oh shit. So I took off my jacket. I took off my gold chains. I put it in the pocket of my jacket, folded my jacket and put it on the side. And now little by little, they're doing their thing. And I'm like, just, then kind of like look at me like, oh, okay, that's that guy. Nobody knows my name. I don't know them. They don't know me. And I just start like just busting some of the, because they have this term, get that bone out your back. You hear them scream that shit all night. Get that bone out your back. They do handstands, back flips, rollovers, so you hear the term, get that bone out your back. In other words, stop being stiff, all this, like this. Now, these guys they don't do that. They go, everything is a little different. It's almost like somebody's tickling them with an ostrich feather from far away. Like, they like, oh, you just see them busting moves, So I'm kind of like, floating in the flavor, and they're kind of like, oh, wait a minute, this dude can hang? This dude can hang? So they kind of like allowed me to just kind of like be not them and with those guys. So I kind of like Scooty, dance. We carrying on, man. I'm imitating that. I'm imitating this, carrying on, dance. Now I'm lit. Until this day, I still remember that. And I know it's that good to me because I know if I bring it up to any one of them, they'd be like, nah, man, don't even remember that. I was on some shit. I took a tab. And I know that's when you know your shit is special, when it's just you that remembers and all the other, you remember? They're like, nah, man, you were there? I didn't see you. I know it. I'm not holding anything against anybody. I'm not trying to be like, yo, come on, man, say I was there. But at the underground. And here's the funny part. So I come home, 6, 7, 8 in the morning, go to sleep. When I wake up, I take my jacket and I put in the cleaners. Because I don't forget, that's my go-to jacket when I got to go to Bentley's and fuck up shop. Because I do that over there too. Next time I'm getting ready to go out, I'm like, where's my chains? Do you know? Either for me putting it in my jacket, after I was so happy from dancing with the fellas, when I picked it up, the chains might have fell out. Or when I took it to the cleaners, they might have taken it when it fell out. This is a week later. I run to the cleaners. Hey, a few weeks ago I put this in. Da da da. I don't know what you talk about. Your chain not here. Your chain not here. And I lost my chains. And the funny part about it, I didn't care because I got to freaking get down with the New York City Steppers. So that was my best dance time to me at the underground.
That's incredible. Tell us a story about Bentley's.
Oh my gosh. I give you Bentley's, Leviticus, what's the other one? There's
White
another
Shadow.
one. Silver
White
Shadow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Give us a story about all three. And explain to people how that's different from the loft and underground
the
clubs.
underground, yes. Okay. So again, now we got like, got to be careful. Got to put on some dress pants, none of that baggy shit, none of that stuff from Uniques, Renaissance, Canal jeans, Capizios, none of that. Now I'm putting on cologne, Yves Saint Laurent, you know what I'm saying? You combing your hair, you feel like you're going to, a party. So I go with the fellas. And everybody's like, yo, man, none of that shit, no slapping the ground, no rolling on the floor, no down spins. There's rules. They're giving me all these, yo, don't get us kicked out. You're gonna go over there, we're just gonna chill, Then you gotta put money in your pocket, $20. You might have to buy a girl a drink. You gotta buy a drink. I'm like, God damn, like fuck. I don't drink. So already there's restrictions. I'm restricted. Already it's like this. And show up. I mean, they're playing the joints, man. They're playing, the whispers, all the good stuff, and you go. Now you gotta ask somebody to dance. Don't forget, an underground club, you don't ask nobody to dance. You just fucking dance. Now you gotta ask somebody. You gotta walk up to a young lady, look at her. Hi, how you doing? Would you like to dance? And then they're like, I'm like, oh, all right. Now you're getting scanned, bro. You know how that feels when you could just dance freely compared to now you have to walk over. As you're walking over, you can tell the person is scanning you. I'm dancing with this motherfucker. You know, check what you got on from top to bottom. Hey, would you like to dance? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh. Now you gotta walk back like an idiot. You know, we're back in junior high school now. I'm like, yo, I didn't pass that. That's why I'm underground. You know, I'm nuts. So I'm like, okay. So I stand off on the side, you know, kind of like got a little flavor. Now, the reason why I say this is all three clubs at the same time, because the same thing happened. So I don't have to tell you which one it happened at. This is all. And then the thing about those clubs is those people, they all go to the same. They go to Silver Shadow, 70 West, Leviticus. You know, they that's how they roll. Just like we roll underground, they do the same thing. Those are the clubs that have the after work thing on Thursday, after work on Friday, and then they open at 10 o'clock to 4, you know. So now, because I'm doing a little something by myself, now you get some bold chick that thinks she's kind of like hip, walk over and say, hey, you want to dance with me? Literally, that's the feeling. Everybody's like, wait a minute, this guy got chicks asking him to dance? What the fuck? You can feel it. My boys is like, oh shit, it's on. Here we go. Yo, man, handle that. You know, don't break her. Just lay it on her. Don't break her. You know, because don't forget, the whole idea of underground dancing is you get to go on the floor, roll around. You know, you can't do that in the, you know, with the suit on and, you know, nice shirt. We got on a shirt, bro. You can't wear a t-shirt. You got on a shirt with buttons, you know. So already sweating like crazy is not allowed, if you know what I mean, you know. You know, don't forget, they're playing the Frankie Beverly and Maze, bro, before I let go. This, you know, this is it, man. This is the happy stuff. I'm busting, I'm dancing, snapping, some turns, you know, some slick turns, you know, like, oh, okay, all right, wait a minute now. And then the thing is the girls, the lady is like, hey, don't make me look bad. Slow down. Yeah. I'm like, oh, bitch, you're in trouble. I didn't ask you to dance. You're in trouble. You know, so I'm like, you know, nice, smooth. They're like, oh shit, this nigga know how to dance. That's fucked up. Like, go, what the fuck? Hey, what I tell you? Don't be turning like that. Where you go? Where'd you go? Oh, he's over here. Where'd you go? You know, and you can feel the level. Like, she's like, wait a minute. I came in here looking pretty. I'm gonna walk out looking pretty. Don't make me look bad. Like, yo, you know, literally she come like, yo, you better slow the fuck down. Don't be turning. The fuck? What are you a dancer? Are you a dancer? Like, no, I just came to party. It's like, well, slow down. Stop. You're making me look bad. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to dance anymore. And they're like, wait. You just gonna walk off? No. I'm gonna act like I told you I don't want to dance no more. And you know, so you start to get that. So I go off on the side now. The thing is the machine. That's what I call it. The shit is running now. You know, we're talking. You know, this is diesel, baby. I'm revved up now. So, and you could feel it. Now you get some other chick that comes all the way from the other side. Hey, what's up? Oh, Mr. Dancer. Come on, baby, let's go. I'm like, oh shit. And the guy's just like, oh man, yo, go ahead, man, handle that, man. But go easy, bro. Everybody's looking, bro. Everybody's looking. So you start to get down. This girl, she thinks she got a little something. Maybe she was a cheerleader or some shit. This is serious business for me. They don't get it, bro. So I'm like, ow, you know, and mind you, I want to go down, you know, because now we're at that, it's time to go down. It's time to jump up. It's like, but you can't do that. So now you just, the fast footworks. And the girl's like, yo, this nigga can dance. That's what I'm talking about. So she start acting all, you know, like so trained crazy. I'm like, hey, slow down. It's okay. She's like, what? You do it, I can't do it? I'm like, oh, okay, go ahead. You know, so I pulled back a little bit. Now she's, you know, she's like all this, but it doesn't have that class, you know, because she's just trying to keep up with my level. and act the fool, you know? And I'm like, all right, okay, I gotta go now. You know, like, wow, what do you mean you gotta go? You know, that's my thing, you know. What do you mean you gotta go? Where you going? You can't just leave me on the dance floor. I'm like, okay, well, come with me. I'm done. Aren't you gonna buy me a drink? I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like, aren't you gonna buy me a drink? You know, you buy a lady a drink. I'm like, no, no, I don't buy people drinks. I don't drink. You see me hanging at the bar? Because don't forget that whole thing, those girls go out, guys are buying them drinks. Guys are buying them drinks. They don't spend their money. You know, they show up, maybe they'll get one drink, but through the whole night, guys dance, hey, can I buy you a drink? Yo, what's your number? Can I buy you a drink? Yo, what's it? There's a format. I'm not following the format. I'm just fucking busting moves. Now I'll give you two perfect examples. One time, the DJ got my attention. He's like this, yo, man, this ain't that kind of club, man. You better slow the fuck down, man, because you're gonna get jumped. I was like, jumped? I was like, yo, man, because the guys are asking girls to dance. Girls are busy sizing up guys. They don't want to dance. You know, guys are like getting turned down. It's like girls are asking you to dance. So already half this place don't like you. I was like, what? Then I go over to the bar, cranberry juice, no ice, lots of lime. That's my thing. The bartender's like, yo, my man, I'm watching you, bro. I seen a dude get stabbed doing what you're doing right now. I'm like, and what is that I'm doing? You're making everybody look bad, bro. You're dancing, you're turning girls down. Because that was the other thing. All the girls like, oh, I'm dancing with him. I'm going to dance with him. I'm going to dance with him. So it's not good. You know, it's like, one chick walked up to me. I'm with the fellas. She's like, hey, you want to dance with me? I was like, no, actually, I don't. She's like, I did not walk across the dance floor to come and ask for you to dance and for you to turn me down. You better fucking dance with me. I'm like, I don't want to dance with you. And she's like, all right, motherfucker, you're gay. I was like, no, I've seen you dance and you can't dance, so I don't want to dance with you. What? Oh, this nigga's crazy. So she walked away. And the guys was like, yeah, I think we gotta go. And the bartender's like, yo, man, do me a favor, bro. I don't know what your game plan is, but don't come here with that shit, bro. You're gonna get jumped. You're gonna get fucked up. Somebody's gonna follow you. I was like, what the fuck happened? What happened? You know? And that was the whole thing because it was like don't come over here with that. You go buy the girls drinks and dance like a normal person. Don't show off. Don't. Yeah, it was yeah. I actually was told that. I was given advice from the bartender. I went to the bathroom. The guys were like, yo, man, fuck it. Oh, that's the nigga right there. All the fucking bitches want to dance with this nigga. I even seen him turning bitches down. Yo, man, what the fuck? Yo, what's your story, dude? What's up with you, bro? Where you from? Nothing, bro. I just came to party with a few friends. Oh, okay. I never seen you around here before, man. What kind of dancing is that anyway, man? What the fuck, bro? This nigga's sweating, bro. You know, I'm like drenched, bro. You know, no coolness, no, you know, forget the cologne, forget the out the window, man. Yeah, hilarious, bro. And that would happen at any of the. I remember my cousin. He's like 8 years younger than me. When he started hanging out, and you know, he would go. You know, he says, "Yo, man, you want to come with me?" And I said, "No, I don't go to those clubs, man." You know, and one time he goes, no, me and my friends. I'm like, nah, I don't go to those clubs, man. I got bad experiences at those clubs. And I went, I said, I'll just chill. And, you know, everybody was dancing. He goes, yo, man, everybody's dancing, you know, do some stuff, man. I'm like, nah, man, I ain't doing that shit, you know, whatever. And then his 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 best friend's older sister was there. And she goes, yeah, they told me you're a real good dancer, that you hang out at underground clubs. What kind of dancing do you do at the underground clubs? You know, I used to dance with me. So I was like, all right, but we got to do it over here, though. We can't go on the dance floor because, you know, shit happens when I dance on the dance floor. She's like, well, you're supposed to be some special person. I'm like, no, I just, you know, when I dance, I dance. So we off a little bit, not on the dance floor, but kind of like just kind of like standing there and getting down. And all of a sudden, all the focus just turned on us. Well, she's acting like an idiot. I'm just getting down. And you know, when you, all of a sudden everybody start hyping up and hyping up, and she turned on me, and she was kind of like, "All right, stop showing off, mister. That's enough." I was like, "I'm not showing off. This is how I dance." And she's like, "Oh, well, you're a problem. I can see why you didn't want to go in the middle or on the dance floor." I said, "Yeah, that's why." And my cousin was like, "Damn, man, I didn't know you was that good." I was like, "No, it's not me. It's everybody else sucks, bro." And ever since then, all his friends was like, "Yo, you gotta see his cousin dance. Yo, 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 yo." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't go to those clubs. I go to the garage, the loft." And they were like, "Where's that?" And then I was like, ugh. So there's a whole people that don't fit. I've actually witnessed it. I felt it. Yeah, people that don't fit. One time, he told me, "Yo, let's go up the block to my buddy, his good friend, his aunt, because she heard about what you did at the club and she wants to see you dance." This is like 3 in the afternoon. I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" "Yeah, man. The other one, her sister went and told the story about what you did, and then we talked about, you know, you can't go to house parties, and they were like, what? I want to see this motherfucker dance." So we walked over on Nostrand in Montgomery. I remember it well. And showed up. She looked at me and she's like, "Oh, you're kind of tall for a dancer." Because I've always been, I'm like 6'3", 6'4". I've been like this since I was 13. First, it looked weird at 13, you know, but, you know, then I turned into a person. And she's like, "You're the guy?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, so what, you know, exactly, what's this I hear about you being this super dancer that when you go to clubs, women ask you to dance? What's that all about?" You know? And I said, "All right." We moved the furniture. We moved the furniture and to turn on the radio and whatever. I forgot what the hell was playing, you know. And I just started, you know, like busting loose in this lady's living room, bro. And mind you, this is maybe like 85, 86. And I'm just busting moves in this lady's living room like I bust room, you know, moves and I was going in, bro. I was lofting that shit out, baby. She was like, "Oh, so it's kind of like breakdancing, but it's not. It's kind of like, but it's not. It's kind of like, but it was kind of like everything, but it's not." She mentioned 5 things, man. We went from Alvin Ailey to breakdancing to back then you had on Broadway was Pippin with Ben Vereen. It's kind of like, I said, it's freestyle. In other words, I do whatever I want, whenever I feel like it, no rules. But I'm real good at it. And she was like, "Wow, okay. All right, my sister was right. Boy, you must have fucking embarrassed the fuck out of us." I was like, I said, "Well, I'm not embarrassing anybody. I thought it was just having fun." But people do get, you know, women get a, you know, like you do turn, bro. You do 3 turns on a person. They're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm sorry, what was that for? I'm right here. What was that for?" You know, like conflicts, little conflicts. You know, I told the guy in the bathroom told me, he goes, "Yo, man, you better leave, bro, because a couple of cats is talking about waiting for you outside." You know, you're going like, "For what?" So dude just like, "Yo, man, who the fuck are you to be telling bitches you don't want to dance?" You know, girls, 6 girls tell me no. You told 6 girls no. How does that look? What's your problem, bro? How you gonna do that to chicks, bro? We trying to pick up chicks, buy a drink, maybe get a number, maybe, you know, whatever. This motherfucker, "I don't feel like dancing with you. I seen you dance. You can't dance." What the fuck, bro? I can't tell somebody something like that. I'm like, "Well, I saw her dance. You can't dance. I want to waste my time dancing with her." Guys is like, "Yo, you crazy, bro. Yo, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, man. Even if she ugly, man, it's a chick, bro. What's up?" You know, the club closes in 30 minutes, man. Everybody's scrounging now. They're trying to pick up, you know, now she's kind of half drunk. "Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. You want me, you know, I give you a ride home. Where you live? Queens?" You know, this motherfucker's turning bitches down, you know. So it was kind of interesting, you know. So that's the above ground. That's the commercial compared to the underground. And you know, to me, having to ask somebody to dance, give me a break, bro. That's retarded.
What a fantastic story. Tell us a story about Buttermilk Bottom.
Now, Buttermilk Bottom, I never went to Buttermilk Bottom. I hang out with everybody that kept saying from the Buttermilk Bottom. Here's the main reason why I never went to Buttermilk Bottom. Too many gays.
Tell us a story. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Because Franklin Smith, I gotta drop names this way that people you've interviewed, they can be like, oh yeah, I remember Franklin Smith. That was my guy, bro. He's the one that got me hooked up at Studio 54. And he always used to say, you should come to the Buttermilk Bottom. Just like I wouldn't go downstairs at Studio 54. I'm like, I'm not going to Buttermilk Bottom. Reed Street, I'm not going to Reed Street. Because those were predominantly gay clubs. It wasn't a half and half. It wasn't like some straight guys are there, some straight people. They were actual straight up gay clubs. Just like Better Days. I went to Better Days once on the block. Even on the block, I was nervous because cats was trying to pick me up. Oh, damn. Oh, stop. Look at this one. And these were dudes, bro. It wasn't little fairies, bro. I was like, yeah, I can get in a lot of trouble because Bravo's not going to be doing Bravo stuff because I'm not going to make it out. Because these are not regular guys. These are guys acting like girls, and when shit don't go right, they go back to being guys. So I'm going to have to throw hands. There's going to be issues. So Buttermilk, again, the gang talked about Buttermilk. I was like, I knew about it, didn't go. I figured that was just a little too, because what it is people already thought maybe I was in the life. That's what it's called. You know, are you in the life? You know? And I had a guy, I became very good friends with him down the line, but he was like some big queen, bro. And if he was to see me at Buttermilk, forget it, bro. So he'd be like, oh, so you can go to Buttermilk and you sure you're not in the life? Or I would be questioned. That would be like too much, you know? So that's just, I just kind of like, and my guys wouldn't go. I wouldn't go anywhere without my guys, bro. You know, I still had my guys that were looking out for me, you know, when I was tearing up studio and wherever else we went. They're still looking out. I mean, they're cracking up, watching me do damage and people get embarrassed and uncomfortable. But they would never like, yo, you know, so now I'm inviting them to underground clubs. You got to remember, they're the ones that brought me into certain clubs, right? So guess what? If they had told me, yo, let's go to Buttermilk Bottom, I guess I would have went. But now I'm getting from the new group of friends that I'm making, you know, and it's either heavy cocaine, heavy mopping, which was the people that were busy stealing mink coats at Bloomingdale's, you know, that whole thing. There was a different cliques, dealers, the 42nd Street gang, you know, mops. Then the ones that were busy robbing people, they were all hanging. All the elements were hanging at the underground, you know, in terms of underground life. But my guys, again, like, yo, we going to Mellons. Yo, we going to Zanzibar. Yo, we go, you know, but they never said to me, we're going to Buttermilk Bottom. So I didn't want to be the one to tell them, yo, let's go to Buttermilk. Because you know what would happen if I told them let's go to Buttermilk and they show up at the Buttermilk and saw there was a whole bunch of gay guys. They would have been like, and why do you bring us here for? So they didn't have that thing, you know, because I still had to flow with them and then do my thing, not have them flow with me.
Tell us a story about Zanzibar.
Zanz is fun. But I never went to Zanz. I started going to Zanz, believe it or not, when I had started doing production. So I was actually going there on business, bringing my test pressings to drop off to Tony Humphreys. I went with Jason Lode. And I actually performed. I performed at Zanzibar like twice. Because again, now set it off, Breed of Motion. We're doing the whole Jersey circuit. So I actually did 3 shows at Zanzibar's and shopped maybe two or three of my records when I went to shop there. And I just saw everybody doing their thing. I was like, oh, okay, this is like the New York version of, you know, because Massive System, Richard Long, and Tony was just damaging the whole gang. But I didn't hang there busting moves, you know, who the dancers were, not like that. I just straight to the booth, outside the booth, stand, watch everybody, wait and see if Tony will play my joint, but show wise, dance wise, forget it, man. It's like, oh, we're doing Zanzibar. I'm like, oh shit, just like when we did the garage, and it was just like, this is more like it, instead of me watching shows, I'm doing the show. So I rip them apart. Zanzibars, whether any club, whether it's underground or Bentleys. I've done Bentleys many times. Same thing, do my thing. As a matter of fact, when I did Bentleys, I took off my clothes, bro. In the middle, it's like, oh shit, yo, what the hell? Maybe you're a stripper? I was just like, fucking this place. I come over here, oh, you dance too fast, no turns. So I just fucking freaked it out, man. They were like, okay, I guess it's part of the show, I remember we were coming back in the limo. They'd be like, yo, you all right? What do you smoke? What are you on? What kind of drugs do you take? Put all your fucking clothes, man. I was like, fuck it. Yeah.
That's so good. Talk to me about the sense of community in the clubs. Um, I get the sense that clubbing in that era, 70s and 80s, especially for the Black and Latino crowd, there was a sense of community also like at the record shop as well. So talk about the sense of community, the friendships and relationships you had and how they impacted your life, if at all.
Oh my gosh. It was important because we created a club within a club. Like I said, you have your garage heads, you have your loft heads, but we all knew Washington Square Park was where we all met up. And that even with the gays, even with the gang from the pier, that's where all the voguing was being done. Vogue was not being done in a club. That wasn't a club thing. They were all at the piers carrying on, bro, carrying on. But the West Fourth at Washington Square Park is where everybody met up, and you can tell just from the way you dance, the cliches that we said to each other, because we mentioned stuff from the songs, feeling moody. You get people feeling, you hear people saying feeling moody. Get the bone out your back. Anything from the songs. Last night a DJ saved my life. Everybody's just saying cliches, and your clique. Because when you go to Washington Square Park, you can feel the clique. You got the Misfits over there. You got all the Jamaicans and the Haitians with the soccer ball over there. All the people that are the grunge people, with the tattoos and all the dress in black, goth. That's it, the goth people. They were all like that. And then you had all the loft heads, all the underground heads with the box, just jamming. And even to the music we were jamming. It was all the cassettes from all that loft stuff. And when the song comes on that we all know, all the songs everybody knows, so everybody's just singing the songs and just busting moves. So that created, you get your friendships. And then when you're studying at the universities and the community colleges, you walking through, you got some time off, 2 hours between a class, and you happen to walk by the lunch area and you see 2 or 3 fucking club heads. You're like, oh shit, yo, and that's how it just the gang, you just wind up knowing each other from that. That's why even now when you see Soul Summit, you can see us and then the people that just come to hang, because Soul Summit now is out of order. That thing is, 5,000, 6,000 deep, but you can still see the heads. All the dancers are going to go somewhere in the back. All the drummers over here. And then people that just come out to come out. But we all got 40 years in, man, 40, 45 years in together. You start to know each other, man, real good. Even now, I run into people, I don't even know their names. I didn't know their names now. It's now I'd be like, oh, because of Facebook or Instagram, it's still you got the garage people when they have the garage reunions. It's a beautiful thing, man. Everybody shows up, with all of these highlights. People are grandmothers, great grandmothers, grandfathers. This one was married to this one. That one was turned gay and went this way. Yeah, man, it's pretty intense, man. Pretty interesting. Transit workers. I remember one time, I'll give you an example. I'm on the train one time doing the architecture thing. And on the train, it's like, bravo, what's up? This is through the sound system of the train. One of the guys from the club, man, he was the conductor. Yeah, man. Yeah, Ronaldo Pierce, man. He's the one that did Love So Special, Sable, with Jovan. Bravo, what's up? Like, oh, oh, yeah. You walking down, you see a cop, fireman. Oh, yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? Everybody's, salt and pepper, uh, old, retired. That's my kid. Like, what? Get out of here. They start to bring their kids. Some of them bring their kids to the reunion parties, Soul Summit. Yeah, man. No, it's a community. We all started together, man. We were all 20 something when we all started together. Yeah, very, very interesting. That's how you have class of 80, this is class of, the people that started hanging between 80 and 85 and 80 and 85. Those are classic deep years, man. You come from the Mike Stone. That's why, again, I mentioned Mike Stone at Bonds International was junior high school of underground because everybody came together, and you didn't have the titles yet, freestyle, house, popping like, and none of that they didn't have that. It was just, yo, that's just the place. Yo, you got to come. Mike Stone Productions, you got to come. They all started hanging out. But now you got, I remember cats I let in that were 15. They got motherfuckers at 45 now, bro. 45, 50 years old. I run into them every once in a while. I run into them, especially now because I'm still performing. I did a big freestyle fest over the summer. The city has something, every borough they were doing. We went to do Set It Off. I mean, you got Cover Girls, CNC Music Factory, everybody performing. And they have these big jumbotrons, on both sides of the stage. So you can imagine when when the camera pan in, I'm on stage, there's 6,000 people, and they pan into my face. There's somebody in the crowd. They're like, oh shit, that's my man Bravo. Get the fuck out of here. And then they'll come backstage like, yo, or when I get home, I see online, yo, I was there at the show. I saw you, man. Remember me and so-and-so? I'm like, oh, man, from this place, from that club, because I also DJ that club. I was the house DJ at Gonzalez and Gonzalez for like 13 years. And that's like Spanish. Spanish is my shit, bro. I know more about Spanish music than I do about house and disco and all that shit. Spanish is my shit, bro. And, so out of my people, like, yo, I perform at the Copacabana many times. All of them, the Latin clubs. I've done them all, man. I'm out there, bro.
Now you got to tell us about the Copacabana.
Copa's fun. Because again, I used to hang out at the Copa every Tuesday. There was a after work thing. I go and get my salsa on, that's where I get all that extra footwork that everybody can't figure out. Like, what the hell is that shit, And where we had they had a big, I remember a buddy of mine, because I used to rent my equipment out and stuff, and he's a big time DJ. And they told him, Set It Off is performing, and it's that Bravo guy from Gonzalez or from Giggles. I used to I was head of security at Giggles, and they were like, yo, man, he's performing. It was like, Bravo. It's only one Bravo, but that's that tall dude. Look like he should be playing basketball. Like, yeah, he's down with Set It Off. And they're like, really? Get out of here. So when I showed up, he was like, yo, that's you? I was like, yeah. He goes, the fuck, bro? You're a dancer? So you get that whole, some people don't know I'm a DJ, some people don't know I'm a producer, some people, And I've tore up Copa like twice. Big parties, big, anytime they have a big freestyle fest, I get stuck with Rob Bass, the whole bit. Last week I did Red Alert. He had a 40th anniversary, something we performed for him. So I cover so much and different, different thing. We did it. The Copa thing was packed, bro. You get a freestyle act that's about 6 acts, 7 acts, 2,000-3,000 people, easy, bro. Yeah, but I've done Copa like 3 times.
Looking back, how have underground clubs shaped today's music and culture?
Oh my gosh. That's what it's all about now, but it's all in Williamsburg. To me, technically, Williamsburg got these crazy parties going on. Some of them go on till wee hours in the morning, big places. I go to them. You know, it's a little strange because it's a whole different uh uh class. You know, when you went to high school, you know, freshman, junior high school, senior, that's your gang, you know, for 4 years. And then another gang shows up. So if you skip couple of 4 years, 4, 8, you know, 12, 16, by the time you show up, it's the same building, but the people are different, man. You, I went to a party one time in Williamsburg about 6 years ago, and I walked in there. It had all the feelings of the garage, the people, the music, the system banging. I did not know one person in that place, and there was like 700 people. It was the strangest. I went home thinking to myself, maybe I should get out the game. Maybe my time is up. Like, what were you doing there? If you're 700 people, you're in a room with 700 people, and not one person, you know, for me to be like, yo, what's up? Hey, you know, bouncer, bartender, just party goer, not one. And you know what I did? I came home, I wrote a song. It don't matter. I have to tag you on that. I got this thing on YouTube called Bravo MDM, Music Dance Medley. If you go on YouTube, Bravo MDM, it's gonna have, let me show you real quick. You're gonna see this. Right? It says Bravo MDM on YouTube. And it's 11 minutes long. It's like 3 songs that I put together with video. You know, now I'm trying to, you know, get into the video and music and the whole bit. And they're unreleased, but I wrote this song called It Don't Matter because I was in there, place was jamming, bro. I'm fucking busting moves by myself on the side. Nobody cared. Nobody told me slow down. Are you okay? Nothing. And everybody was just partying. But these are the not white people, the right people, I call them. Tattoos, ear piercings. Everybody's loose, bro. And I said, holy shit, this is the same version as my gang, except it's not my gang. And it's 40 years, 30 years later. They just, the system was banging. DJ, I didn't know who the DJ was. System didn't have a name. The place didn't have a name. When I showed up, they asked me for ID. I was like, oh, shit. You know, the guy that asked me for ID might have been like 27, 30 years old. I was like, okay, interesting. I said, you sure you don't want me to show me my ID on the way out? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to do it, but you know, that's the rules. I'm like, no, I understand. I was just trying to be funny. And he's like, yeah, I know, strange, right? And when I gave him my ID, he was like, damn. He was like, damn, you know, he's like, sorry about that. I was like, nah, man, it's cool, man. It's all good. You know, I was going up the stairs. It felt like the garage was the walls was pounding. I was like, oh. And the other thing is they were playing songs I didn't know. I was like, damn, this is just like the garage from the old days. I went upstairs. It was like $10. I went upstairs. I was like, oh, and then I started screaming like I was stupid, man. Just like the oh, god damn. I was like, oh yeah, motherfucker. And nobody cared, bro. I fucking got down, rolled around, broke out my little baby powder. I was like, shit, you know. And then for some reason, I just stood around, just looking. I'm like, not one person walked up and go, yo, Bravo, what's up? Yo, bro. Not one person, bro. It was just rocking. I did 4 hours on my way home. I just kept going. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter what you do. It don't matter where you're from. Everybody get that. I came home, man. I was fucking programming. It don't matter who you are. You know, it don't matter what you do. You know? Yeah. And you have to go watch it. So you can say, okay. So that's what I got out of it, you know. But there's another generation. There's always other generations, and they were doing it right, man. It was tight. I was like, yeah, this kind of place I can hang at. I remember the feeling. Hair on my arm was standing up. I fucking lost my voice. I was like, yo, they still doing it. They still, and it wasn't. I don't know how long if they're gonna keep going together or these people, but it was Williamsburg. And the funny part about it, when I was going, I went with 3 of my students. And that was like, oh, it might be over here because Williamsburg got so many parties going everywhere because they can hear boom, boom. I'm like, oh, it's got to be over here. And we went to this place, which is Brooklyn Zoo. That's what they call it. We went to that place because we've had a few joints there. I've played there too. We went over there and they were like, oh, no, no, not over here, but it might be 3 blocks up over to the right. And we're like, okay, there's more shit around here because it's all like industrial kind of like. And okay. So we walked away from that boom, boom, walked away. And as we lost the sound of walking away from this thing, then you can hear in front, boom. I was like, oh, shit. Well, wait a minute now. And when we got 3, 4 blocks up, we made a right, people outside, and this building was like, I was like, oh, there's a master system in this bitch. You can feel the deep beats, because you remember, Panorama used to do that when you walked up the block for Panorama. The garage did that, and sure enough, went upstairs. I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna be good. And they were like, you can tell? How can you tell? I'm like, yeah, once music comes through fucking concrete walls, it's a wrap. And sure enough, when you got upstairs, sometimes you go to a party that's crowded, but it sucks. Everybody it's a drinking crowd, It's crowded, but they're just crowded. So it's not a party. It's just fucking packed. But this was crowded comfortably, and everybody was, so it made perfect sense. And the music was on. The music was tight. It was fucking just tight. I was like, oh shit. So that gave me a quick flashback of it ain't your people, but this'll do. And I loved it, man. So there is other generations. Now you have other countries, Paris, Brussels. Everybody's throwing down now, man. They faking it, but I can't tell them that because they're enjoying themselves, But they're not going to be able to have what we had because we already did it. So now they're just carbon copies, and carbon copies start to flake out a little bit, and they're faking it too hard. In other words, they're doing Soul Train, Garage, Loft. They're doing everything at the same time, and they're screwing it up. Because I've been embarrassed myself, not on purpose. Somebody embarrassed me, but I felt uncomfortable. You're sitting down in a place and you're like, oh, this sucks. Yeah, they ain't got it. Okay. All right, I'm ready. And you leave. But I felt that because when I go overseas, they're really trying to push it. Because, everybody's a DJ now, bro. Everybody's a DJ. And, I remember playing GQ, Disco Nights, one time in one of my classes, and 6 people went crazy. What is that? What is that? What is that? Oh, YouTube. What is that? And I was just like, yeah, slow down. Shit, it's 40 years old. They were just so hungry for it because they never heard it. But they collect all this music, man. You'd be like, okay, that's not the dance they did to it, but okay, if that's what y'all want to do. So it's all been photoshopped and reproduced in their own version, in their own way. But the only thing I say to them, I'm like, hey, look, I see if y'all can put in 50 years, if y'all can put in 40 years.
That's real talk.
Yeah.
How did club life transform you personally?
Well,
or did
I'm not gonna say.
Or did it transform you at all?
Yeah. Like I like to party anyway. And even now, when I run into some of the old heads, I can tell these people needed that shit, whatever family life they had at the time, family issues, drugs. Don't forget, we had that crack thing, man. Crack fucked everybody up, bro. The 60s was a heroin issue, but 70s marijuana, and then crack, shoo, dude, crack tore people up, man. Nice people it got, bad people it got, and the club is a place where you can go and just it's a hideout, bro. It's a hideout, but then shit go down. AIDS laid out a whole bunch of people, and that would be because of them meeting up, hooking up, right? It didn't become, first it was a gay thing. Nobody gave a fuck when it was a gay thing. But then all of a sudden, Susie got it. It's like, how did Susie get it? Why would Susie get, it didn't make sense. And then it just started dropping everybody. So that played a role into, holy shit, wait a minute. It's not just a party, because, it's a business, they're selling records, right? You got the records, you got production, you got the record companies, you got the promoters, and then party people that go out. So, but for me, being that I did all that stuff at the same time, I didn't need it like that. It wasn't a job for me. I worked in clubs, but I was already doing, what they would call a respectable, I'm an architect, I got a 9 to 5. So it's like, oh, I don't have to party, but I like to party, even when I was studying architecture, I was still partying. It was perfect. Sometimes, you got, so-and-so, oh, I'm a cop, I'm a doctor, MTA, fireman, you just see people, like now you got people say I'm in tech, I'm an IT guy. You don't rarely run into some cat that tell you I'm a plumber, bro. So it's to me, it was, you got double life, triple life. I got 4 lives, bro. So it's different for me. Very, very much different for me. Very, very much different.
What advice do you have for the next generation?
I think they should slow down, bro. Because they can, every song I can mention right now, they can download. Boop. And they're not going to have the same feeling that I had when I got my hands on it, or you for that matter. And it's a different world, man. It's a different world. Enjoy that shit. I know Archie's very concerned about everybody's health. Pay attention to me. I watch the B-boys. I'm like, holy shit, man. I don't know if you pay attention to it. Those guys are doing some stuff, man, that's like crazy. And I'm like, y'all better enjoy that shit, man. Because another 10, 20 years, everything's going to hurt. Pain is no joke, man. You start getting cramps, this, but they don't have to worry about that right now. But I just say for that, because that to me is the most dangerous dance style we have. When I say dangerous, in the old days, it used to be you got to worry about getting jumped and stabbed, because you're in a different borough and you busting moves. Now it's just them on just trying to outdo each other. And it's hard, First they're pushing for the Olympics. So there's all these different mindsets, who's the best. Now you got cats, Brazil, Japan, Korea, Berlin, Russia, and then they have stuff that we, when I say we, the generation didn't have. There's DJ schools, there's B-boy schools. That's like, how's that, bro? You know what I'm saying? And even music wise, the music that they're dancing, the new stuff now, I would never be a great dancer if that's the music I had, the one that they have. Because there's no words, it's computerized, it doesn't have that riff of a musician getting down, you know what I'm saying? Now they got the boom bap. You see the guys with the drum machines, the everything there. And you see this guy, everybody's like, yeah, that's dope. So that's like, okay. So this guy can actually sit, you can put him in a small little box, 3x3, and he can just produce for days. Even artists now, when you take a Shaka Khan, they speed it up. And she's like, but somebody else like, yo, that's dope. When you listen to Jay-Z, the background of the music of Jay-Z, that was something from the 60s, and they take it because of electronics, and he's doing his thing on top of it. So now that becomes its own genre by itself that you and I don't get. I don't know, maybe you do, but I'm like, okay, that's what they want to do. Okay. So they got everything. They can mash it up together and make it fit. So then I think that becomes a little AI-ish. Is it IG? What they call it? And intelligent
AI, yeah.
AI, you could Photoshop something and you're like, oh, I didn't say that. They got my voice or put my face on something. That's a little shaky. If like women or men that get breast implants or butt implants, it's like, that's a little bit more than, hey, I'm just gonna put on some makeup. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you can't take that off. Oh God, you gotta live with that shit. So when you go to a certain area, it becomes something that could be accepted. But you and I have a hard time with that, man. We have a hard time with that. That's the one thing I try and teach myself. I'm old and I enjoy my old. I'm not gonna try and, oh man, I gotta shave. Oh, I'm gonna make all these dark. That's too much work, man. That's a lot. I don't want to have to work like that. I want it to be like, yo, that's Bravo. Yes, it is. Hi, how you doing? Oh shit, okay. I just finished doing the show the other day with Strafe, and I'm like, yo, we're doing Radio City Music Hall in February 9th. And that's big, man. That place holds like 6,000 people, and it's gonna be big because we've done it before about 4 years ago. And I was telling him, I says, Joe, the last time we did it, when I got on the train, I come down the train station, everybody started clapping. They were like, "Oh my God, you're the guy!" And I got on the train, everybody was staring at me like, "You take the train?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting off at Prospect Park." What? You live in Brooklyn? I was like, yeah. As a matter of fact, I got to go to work. They're like, "You work?" And it just felt like no, I'm a regular person. And then I said to myself, I like that. I don't want to be the limo. I don't want to be, nah. I just want to be able to enjoy taking the train, walking down the street. Because some people, that's not good, man. Because then if I'm not tight, if everything ain't right, I'm like, I can't go outside. How would you get me? You understand? How would I be uh, for an interview wise, which I feel bad for all the rappers, with the bling and all the gold and all of this and all of that. And I'm like, hey, you know what? There's a time for that shit, but pretty soon, all you got to do is get, a stomach virus. None of that shit is pretty, bro. Reality, you know? So we enjoy it, just like song. You hear a song you like, enjoy that song. But when it's finished, get back to oxygen and water and be safe. Very important. I think that plays a major role. Like everything you see behind me, that was then, that was the time, but it's about the reality. What about tomorrow? I think that's very important. What about tomorrow?
Tell me
Yeah.
about fitness. How do you maintain?
Well, I don't smoke, I don't drink. So that's a plus for me. It's not like I'm saying I used to. I don't. I'm not a fitness buff. Like I don't go to the gym. I don't, I don't like to drink water, so I'm not a big water head. My students get on my case about that. You need to drink water, Uncle Bravo. I'm like, shit sucks. I drink juice. I'm not too much of a soda head. But I'm not a health freak, so I can't even give advice. But I just keep it moving, man. I don't. I'm not lazy, and I know I have to because I get a call. Boom. Next thing you know, oh, we're on stage. Set it off. That's 7 minutes long, bro. I got to jump around for 7 minutes. That shit hurts, bro. I'm 61. The lungs ain't happy. So to stay relevant is not easy. Let's put it like that. You know?
Is there
Yeah.
any,
But
is there, oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but like my mom's 90, 91. So when I take her, like every other week, whatever, to go see a doctor, XYZ. So that's when I feel like a little boy when I'm around her because she's like, everything hurts. I push her around in a wheelchair, make her get up to do this, and she's like, "Ooh, pain." I'm like, "Uh-huh, show me about it." I got my own. I mean, I got my own. So yeah, the health. Whatever way you
Um,
can keep it.
I'm trying to figure out.
Well, you gonna ask me if I plan on stopping? No,
No, I
I
wasn't gonna
can't
ask if
stop
you
it.
plan on stopping. Oh yeah. Is there
It
anything
feels
that I
good.
did, if I didn't, everything that I didn't ask you that
Yes.
you want to talk about?
No, no. Like I said, you're doing pretty good, man. I threw some at you that I wanted you to know: the breed of motion, the performing. And no, excellent. I told you about my 3 gold chains. I didn't mind losing because I dance with, you know, with the guys, man. And I know if you ask either one of them, they won't remember. Yeah, okay. I, so, but those are all my own little personal, so it's cool, And then the story about, the Bentley's Leviticus, you better leave, bartender giving me advice.
That's so good.
No, those are fun, man. Brown's Guest House. Now you got to go find out about Brown's Guest House.
Thank you for the
Okay.
interview. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing your story with me.
You're the man, baby.
All right, peace.
Peace.